Welcome to the Conversation Club number 10. So for today, the agenda is first we are going to do a short introduction. Then we are going to talk about our countries and we are going to talk about some questions.
Hi.
And hi.
Hi everyone. I am Santiago Mesa. I am from Manizales, Colombia. I am musician. I play bass trombone in a symphony orchestra. And what else? My hobby is, I don't know, make music. No more.
Good. Hi everyone, my name is Manuel. I'm from Lima, Peru. I am an information technology teacher. I work for a public school and I love reading as my favorite hobby and also taking care of my plants. That's what I used to do.
Hi, everyone. I'm Austin. I'm from Seattle, Washington, in the United States. I'm soon to be a hardware validation engineer, so I just got a new job. Yay. And as for hobbies, I like getting outside and rafting and kayaking and things like that. So nice to meet you all.
Hi, my name is Karen Tetinarina Ladino. I'm 13 years old. I'm from Colombia. My hobbies are watch TV and play with my dogs.
Hi, my name is Adrián. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm 32 years old and I own a small business.
We are going to talk about our countries. So how is the health system, for example, in Peru or Argentina?
In our country, health is not very good, but I think it can improve in the future.
The health system in Peru is kind of awkward because we have the public health system and also the private health system. If you are part of the payroll of any company here in Peru, you get the health system for free. Your employer is the one who paid for it. But the problem is that the public health system is not like the best.
Okay, here in Argentina, the system is divided between the private sector and the public sector. It's like everyone who has a job, every employee, the government takes part of the wage, and the person has to decide if they want to derivate part of that wage to the private sector or continue within the public sector. The reality is that the public sector is really has a lot of problems.
It sounds fairly similar in Peru and Argentina as it does here in the US. Except we don't really have a public sector at all. It's all private, and it's sort of tied to employment. It is tied to employment, so you usually get it through your company, and if you have health insurance, overall the care is it's pretty good.
How is the educational system in your country?
Well, in the case, if you're talking about the educational system, it's the same. We have the public one and the private one. Actually, I'm working in a public school as a high school teacher. And actually, I come from my previous job was in a private school, and you can see such a big difference there. Difference is, well, actually, I do not know how it's in other countries, but the public education here in Peru is for free, so you don't have to pay any fee for that.
Hey, I think here in Colombia, the education system in the public is very. It have something that is very great that you can find in the university or in the schools very good professionals in the system, and in the other part in the private. It's like it's good, but I think the public system in Colombia is the best system, private system in Colombia.
Yeah, and also I want to add that if you want to go to a public university, you have to approve an exam. So it is not for everybody. You need to pass an exam and then you can get an spot. And it is not for free. They check your like economic status and everything, and based on that, they decide a price for you.
Okay, the first I can notice between Argentina and the rest of the countries is that here in Argentina, one of the things that I can remark is that we have a totally free university degrees. So and also you don't have to take any exam to get into the university. But it's also true that the universities are really crowded.
High school and younger, it seems pretty similar. But as far as university goes, there's there's actual university, and then there's like what we call community college, and you have to pay for both of them. Community college is cheaper and does not require a an exam to get into. Anyone can really just come in and start. There's publicly funded ones and privately funded ones. Usually, the private ones are considered more prestigious, kind of like Harvard or Stanford or something like that.
How is the political system?
And here in Argentina, we have a president who is the representative of the executive branch, and then we have a Congress and a Senate.
A Senate.
Senate.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you. And we also have local governments here in Buenos Aires. The city of Buenos Aires has an autonomous government.
We also have the president, and also we have the Congress. Uh, Actually, we are really in Peru. We are really close to the election day. It's the next month. Actually, it's on June 11th, and we are really worried actually because our candidates are like it's hard when you have to choose between something that you already know that is bad and the other yeah, and on the other hand you have something that is even worse. I know that many strikes are coming according to the results, and even the price of the dollar is rising actually for this. It's really a hard situation right now here.
We are used to that here in Argentina, and I think it couldn't be worse than here in Argentina. At least you have one digit of inflation there. We are used to have like 50% of inflation each year, so it couldn't be worse than Argentina.
Okay, I think it's probably the same thing here in Colombia as in Argentina and in Peru. I think we have a pretty similar system of maybe corruption.
We also have a president and we have a Congress, but we have like 150 people there, and they have like huge salaries. So that's like the corruption here in the Congress in Colombia. And we have departments. We don't have like provinces. We have departments, and every department has a mayor. I think that's the way you say it. Yeah, and that's it. That's
Um,
it. What is the currency, and how do you convert it in dollars?
The currency in Colombia is the peso. I don't know how should I convert in dollars, but I know that 1 peso is 0.00027.
Yeah, so here is like $1 is
It's like 3,500 pesos.
yeah.
The currency in Peru that we employ is or are called soles, and here the exchange or the currency, I do not which is the right word, is 3.73 soles, equivalates to $1.
Here in Argentina, we have the peso, who by now we have two different systems to acquire those dollars. We have the official system, which the exchange, the currency exchange at this system is 100 peso for each dollar, but is controlled by the government, and they don't let like everyone to acquire dollars. They give you a limit of $200 per month, because the we have a controlled system, and then you can go to the black market and acquire those dollars at an exchange rate which is 160 pesos for each dollar. Um, we have a really devaluated currency, and in the 90s, or the first part of the 2000, it was $1, 1 peso, and it went devaluating uh, until now. So we have $1 is 160 pesos. Okay, and another thing that I want to remark is that here in Argentina, everyone knows the current exchange rate of the dollar each day. It's like we have on the newspapers all day, and everyone knows, because our currency is so volatile that we have to know the value of the dollar to like compare the things.
Any question? I have like, yeah, like many questions about it. So why is that? So I have heard something about the situation in Argentina, but I'm not clear. So I don't know if you can maybe give us a summary about it. Or yeah, Manuel.
Uh, I do not know, but Adrian, would you mind mention something more related to the black market that you talk about? How to buy dollars, please?
Yeah, you have to. There are some people who sell dollars on the street. As weird as it sounds, but you go to some places, well-known places, in the center or in downtown, and they are like offering in the street, like selling, like saying, I sell dollars, sell dollars, I don't know, in public places, and then you like it sounds really weird when I say it, but here is really normal. But it sounds like you are buying some kind of drug or anything, but you are just making a normal transaction. But you go there and you gave them the pesos, and they gave you the dollars, the bills. And also, it is all this situation is because our governments don't want to cut the spending, so they like print money all the time, and we have a really high percentage of our population below the poverty line. So it's a really populist government who wants to give those people subsidies without having the money to. So they print money, they give the subsidies to those people who need to get the votes from them and continue in the power. Okay.
Okay, Manuel.
Actually, what you mentioned is pretty important about this thing called printing money. Uh, Actually, here, many of the candidates to press who are running for presidents mention this like are you going to employ the machine to print more money in the case that the state's account went empty? And all of them were pretty nervous because most of them had planned start printing money, and it is a big problem if you start printing money if you don't have a backup. And actually, I had no idea that it also happened in Argentina. It is like
Yeah,
pretty new to
sadly,
me.
sadly, yes. But in my opinion, the only one who can print the money they want is the United States, because they have the support to know the war. But
Backup.
uh, yeah, maybe backup would be, yeah, to print all the money. You have to think they print the last year a ton of money, uh, and they inject it to the system, and nothing happens right now. We have to see in in the following months. Okay.
Um, yeah, the I was actually just gonna bring that up. Yeah, we printed. I think it was like $2 trillion, or no, it was more. It was like $8 trillion last year, or just some insane amount, like way too much money. Um, and they're printing more. Um, we're really not sure where it's going to go because, like, eventually we have to pay that back, you know. But I don't know. I think the average American's kind of just used to being in debt. Um, like for example, when I was born, we were in $0 of debt, and now I think we're in like 30 trillion or $40 trillion of debt. And it just kind of keeps going. And every time we have a new president, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna cut spending," and then they don't, and they print more money, and it keeps getting higher and higher. And I think at this point, everyone's kind of like, "Well, we're just gonna see what happens," because I don't know how to pay back $40 trillion. It's so much money. It's insane. Um, so yeah, as of now, it hasn't seemed to affect anything, but eventually, that's going to have to, every country is going to have, that problem. How do I say this? Any country can fall to that problem, even the US. We may be able to hold on a little bit longer, but eventually that's going to catch up to us. You can't just keep printing money forever and expect everything to be fine, especially when it's trillions a month. It's an insane amount. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
The next question: how much is the minimum salary in your country?
The minimum salary in Colombia is 908,526 pesos. In dollars, it is 259 US dollars and 6 cents.
I just wanted to say, here it really depends where you're at. Um, I think the national minimum wage is 7.50 an hour.
If I calculate with the official, it's around $290. But if I calculate with the black market, is, let me check, it's $180 per month. So and also I wanted to say that like 3 years ago, we have a minimum wage of around $700, but the peso devaluated a lot. So our salaries in US dollar went down. So we are now on those numbers.
Actually, in Peru, the national minimum wage is in soles, it's 930 soles, and in dollars is $249 per month is what you get here.
Let's go with the next part. I don't know if you have heard about the situation between Israel and Palestine.
The problem between these countries is the religions, because practically the Jews are the owners and the Muslims are the servants. That's the story, their origin, and well, they have always fought.
Yeah, this as I think we all know, this problem and clash has been going on since the 40s when Israel was really established. Um, I I don't really know what the proper solution for it is. It seems like a very complex issue with a bunch of players on with their own individual motivations. I can kind of sympathize in some part with both sides of it. Um, I I do got to say I don't like seeing my country pay for death on the other side of the world.
Do you think we will return to normal life after COVID?
Okay, in this situation, I would like to mention many things because I was talking about this with my colleagues a day before or 2 days ago, and we were talking about actually how education has changed thanks to this. We were talking about, are we going to go back to school again and to give lessons to our students and see their faces every day? And I have to be pretty honest. I've been teacher for 6 years. Um, during this since the last year has been really hard to do not have interaction with children.
Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for participating.
Thank you very
Okay,
much, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
Sophie.
you.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
thank you. Bye bye.